Oh, welcome to your pregnancy abs workout. So this is great for trimester 3, but it's also good for trimesters 1 and trimesters 2 as well. It may feel counterintuitive to work on your abdominal muscles or your stomach during pregnancy as you notice your belly's expanding. However, it's so important to help strengthen your transverse abdominis. This is the deepest muscle, the one that you can't see, but the one that really supports your body during pregnancy specifically. It supports your spine and stabilizes your spine to protect your back. In this video, Uma, who is 31 weeks pregnant, and myself are guiding you through my best exercises to strengthen that deep transverse abdominis muscle. I'm Vicky Wall with over 20 years experience helping mamas-to-be and new mamas. And these are my very best pregnancy ab exercises that thousands of women from all over the world have followed to get toned, to strengthen their core, and to be in great shape throughout their pregnancies. You don't need any equipment for this video, and be sure to hit the thumbs up if you're ready to get started, and also consider subscribing to my channel for more pregnancy and postnatal workouts, which I release every single week. And hit the bell to be notified of my new weekly video releases. Let's get started. We're going to begin on our hands and our knees. Be sure to have your shoulders over your wrists and your back is flat. From here, we're going to take a deep breath in. Keep your back flat, and then as you exhale, I want you to hug your baby up and round off the upper part of your back. Breathe in and then just relax and lengthen your spine. Lift your head up slightly, but don't arch the back. Keep it flat. Breathe out. Hug your baby in. Breathe in. Take your shoulders away from your ears. Flatten your back. Breathe out. Bring your upper back upwards. Hug your baby in. Breathe in. Now what we're doing here is we're just helping activate and switch on that transverse abdominis muscle. Such an important muscle, not just in pregnancy, but after you've had your baby too. So breathing out, upper back is rounding. Breathing in, you're flattening your back and lengthening your spine. One more time, breathing out. And this is excellent, releasing any tension you have in your upper back or your lower back, your stomach, and release. From here, we're going to just lift the hands off the floor, bring them onto your hips, and take a cushion and place it underneath your knees if you want more comfort for your knees. And then we're going to hinge back, keeping the feet flat onto the floor, and keeping your glutes off your heels, breathing out, and then breathing in, bring your body back up to vertical. And again, breathing out, shoulders down, relaxed. Try not to overarch your back in this position. You want to aim as you're hinging back to soften your tailbone down. Breathing in, come forward. Breathing out, relaxing the shoulders. You're feeling that great stretch, releasing tension in the front of the thighs. Now it's important that we release tension in these front thighs before we begin our ab exercises, as we don't want any muscles to be tight and tense before we begin those main exercises. I want to prepare the body for the exercises. One more. Breathing out, bringing that baby in. Activating that core, breathing in, coming back. Now from here, we're going to step forward with one foot. All right, and tuck the back toe under so you have a little bit more support for your toe. From here, we're going to place the hand onto the inside of the knee. Reach up with the opposite arm. Bring this knee forward, keep the front foot flat, for that stretch into the side of your body from your hip flexor up towards your armpit. And then breathe in and straighten the leg. Bring your arm out behind you. And then breathe out, come into this hip flexor stretch, keeping this front foot really flat. And then breathe in, try and straighten the leg, just taking the baby bump down through that space. Breathing out, and breathing in. Couple more, breathing out, and breathing in. Two more, breathing out. And I really like to have my hand on the inside of the knee here, it really helps feel supported. All right, take this foot back, come onto both knees, and then change over, step forward with the other foot. Reach up with your opposite arm, place this hand on the inside of the knee, and then as you bring this knee forward, take your shoulder back, feel that stretch from your hip flexor up through to your armpit, And then breathing in, try and straighten this leg. Feel that stretch down through your hamstring. And again, breathing out. Remember to take your shoulder back to feel a really good stretch for your psoas muscle. Breathing in. And you'll notice that we're only holding these stretches for a couple of seconds. We're dynamically stretching. We're not overstretching. You might find that you feel a little more flexible during pregnancy, a bit more lax through your joints. That's due to the hormone relaxing, being secreted into all of your joints, but its main role is to help open up the pelvis, to bring your baby down, to help your baby drop down into the birth canal, prepare your body for delivery. Breathe in and stretch out the hamstring. Great, and then relax, coming back onto both knees. Now we're going to go into the 360-degree breathing. Now I want you to stay with us for this part. You might think it's boring, you might want to be tempted to skip, but it's so important. In fact, what you're going to discover is your TA muscle, if you're not quite sure what we're talking about. It's a deep muscle and we want to be able to find it and know what we're doing with it, all right, to help strengthen. So we're going to place our hands just on the rib cage here, and I want you to just tuck your thumbs behind, so your thumbs are kind of resting here, all right, the back part of your rib cage. That's important. You're going to really focus on keeping your shoulders and your chest down. Avoid lifting and being one of those shoulder chest breathers. All right, we're breathing deeply. Think deep. So we're going to take a deep breath in into our hands. So you want to be expanding your rib cage laterally, all right, and feeling it going into the sides and the back of your body as well. That's why I call it the 360-degree breathing. Now we're going to take a deep breath out. And as we do that, we're going to hug our baby in, all right? Breathe in, expand the rib cage, let the baby just come forward a little bit, but no need to push it too far out. And then breathe out. Really hug your baby in, all right? I also want you to feel some activation in the pelvic floor, so a little lift up of the pelvic floor muscle. Breathe in. Now, really important that you don't push your baby out too much because we don't want to create additional pressure at the front part of our body here. All right, just let it naturally slightly expand. And then breathe out. Really hug your baby in towards you. Or imagine you're tightening a corset, all right, at the thighs. One more time, breathe in. Good, and then breathe out. Shoulders down, chest down, relaxed. Imagine you're tightening a corset, lifting up the pelvic floor simultaneously, or hugging your baby. It's completely safe for your baby. And then just relax. You can practice that breathing every single day to really help you activate your transverse abdominis with the breath, all right, when you exhale, along with lifting the pelvic floor, so that those muscles are working in synergy to help strengthen your core. All right, let's come down onto our hands and our knees. And that 360-degree breathing has really helped us set up to know what we're doing with our breathing and activation during the exercises. Right, from here we're going to lift one hand and then the opposite knee up just about an inch and breathe out. Or exhale, breathe in and lower. And then exhale, lift the other hand and the other knee. And then inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So you can see by watching either myself or Uma that we're just lifting only about an inch or so, not too high. All right, you want to try and keep your pelvis, your hips as still as possible. So what we're not doing is swaying from side to side too much. Time the breath correctly. So breathing out, exhale, hug the baby, and then exhale as you lift the hand and the opposite knee. All right, that's so important. And you want to be really fully activating your transverse abdominis and your pelvic floor together. So hug your baby in or tie up the imaginary corset and lift all four corners of the pelvic floor as you exhale now. Inhale, let them relax. We're going to do two more. Good, one more. And release. All right, now we're going to progress that exercise. We're going to tuck the toes under, keep shoulders over the wrists. We're going to exhale and lift the knees up and kind of do pulse exhalations. So 3 little exhalations as we lift the knees. So it goes like this. Exhale, lift the knees. Inhale and lower. And again, exhale. Now let's really consciously draw the shoulders down our back. All right, really focus on the lower part of the abdomen. All right, and as you lift those knees and exhale, hug your baby in, imagine you're tying a corset, and you're lifting up 4 corners of the pelvic floor. Now what that means is, imagine your pelvic floor is a diamond shape. You've got the front, and the back points, and the sides. Lift all those 4 corners up as if they're coming up together. Good, okay, we're going to do 4 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3. And lower. 2 more, exhale, lift. Keep looking down towards the floor, over the top of your mat. 1 more. Inhale and lower. Great. Okay, from here, we're going to flatten out the feet. All right, we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. All right, we're going to take our hands and clasp them together and place them just above our shoulder, one shoulder, all right? Now from here, we're going to exhale, bring the hands down towards the side of the waist here, down towards the hip, and then hold, pause, and then breathe in, bring the arms back up. Exhale, turn, breathe in, back up. And again. So the exhale happens as you bring your hands down. Keep the hands clasped together. All right, and that gets a great activation again going on through your core. Now, yes, this is a rotational move. We're not turning too far. And it's also important that you do some rotational movements during pregnancy, because in everyday life, you're reaching down, putting things behind you, reaching up, putting things up onto a shelf, so you have some slight rotation in everyday movements. So it's important to train the body for those movements. All right, and strengthen. All right, so you're not swaying your arms, you're moving through the waist and through the hips. 2 more. 1 more. Bring the arms back up. Good, let's switch over. Bring the hands across to the other shoulder. And then exhale, turn to the opposite hip. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale. Inhale. And again, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Try and go slow with control and really focus on the muscles that we're working here. So it's not just the arms really going through the motions. We're really focusing on exhale, hug baby in, activation, all right, of the deep core muscles. All right, support your body. Create that healthy environment for your baby too. 1 more. And release. Great. Okay, so then we'll take the hand back down. We're going to transition to take a seat and rest on our forearms. So take your time, obviously, coming down to the floor, because I know you have that additional weight now that makes it a little bit less comfortable. And then rest down onto your forearms. All right, really important that you take your shoulders back here. Don't let your shoulders come too far forward. All right, we're going to take 1 foot off the floor. Exhale and bring the knee towards the chest. Now you want to really hug that baby in towards you. Breathe in and lower. We're working the lower part of the abdominals, other foot. Exhale, inhale. So these exercises might feel a little light, a little easy, but if you're activating that TA correctly, they're going to be hugely beneficial. All right? And this particular exercise in this particular position means that we're avoiding any flexion movement, any bending forward, any crunching, all right? Because we want to manage that abdominal separation, which you may have heard of, all right, the center part of your abdominals, all right, between your more superficial muscle, known as the 6-pack. All right, we want to manage the separation when the muscle does come away from each other, the paired muscle comes away from each other, distance during pregnancy. It's very natural. All right, all women will have a degree of separation in their 3rd trimester, usually. All right, we want to make sure that we're not doing anything that's going to stress on that during pregnancy or after you've had your baby. So be sure to check out my postnatal videos on this channel so that you know what exercises to do after baby. Good. 4 more. Breathing out. 3. Hugging the baby in. 2. 1 more. Good. And rest. All right, we're going to take that to a leg extension. We're going to take the foot off the floor and flex that foot. All right, from here. Exhale, extend the leg away. Keep it off the floor. And then inhale, bring the knee towards your chest, taking the knee slightly out. When you take your knees slightly out, just means that you're then not encroaching onto the baby bum. It feels more comfortable. So breathing is so important. Exhale as you extend the leg. Inhale as you bring it in. Exhale. Inhale. Great. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. And you see, I just watching Uma here that a baby bump is really coming in. All right, tightening, it's all safe. Activating that muscle. Good. Deep muscle. One more. Really flex the foot, drive the foot leg away. Good. And place the foot back onto the floor. Let's switch over. Take the other foot off the floor. Flex the foot. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Now the whole time we're doing abdominal exercises during pregnancy, we want to make sure that we're watching for any coning or doning of the abdominal wall. All right. The coning would manifest itself as a kind of triangular looking shape. All right. Or like pointy. All right, so watch out for that. If you see that during an exercise, you want to stop that exercise or modify it. All right, so that you're not getting any coning or doning. That just places a little bit too much pressure, or means you have too much pressure in the front part of your abdominal wall, specifically your vena alba, which runs down the center part of your abdominals here, the connective tissue. All right, let's do two more. Exhale, inhale, one more, exhale. Inhale, put the foot back onto the floor. Excellent. All right. From here, we're going to turn onto our side. Rest onto our forearm. We're going to take an exhale. We're going to lift our hips off the floor. Now, this is the side dip. So we want to make sure that hip is directly pointing upwards. All right, we're not rotating backwards. And then inhale, lower. And again, exhale up. Inhale, lower. Try and look straight ahead. And bring the weight off your shoulder by just bringing your shoulder in towards your body as you lift the hips. This is a great one for working on the side of the waist, the obliques, which we do need to keep strong, but you don't want to overwork the obliques, all right, rather than that deep transverse abdominal. So you need to make sure your workouts are balanced in terms of not working one muscle group too much. Good. Lower. Keep going. Okay, 4 more. Exhaling every time you lift. Hugging the baby in, remember on that exhalation. 2 more. Or 1 more, bringing the shoulder in. And release, great. Let's do the other side. So bring the legs around in front of you. Resting down onto the other forearm. Alright, knees together, alright, feet firmly onto the floor. Place your hand onto your hip or in front of you here. And then exhale, lift your hips out off the floor, bring your shoulder in. Inhale and lower. And again, exhale, lift up. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift up. Inhale and lower. So again, in this side dip exercise, I really want you to focus on lifting up off one corners of the pelvic floor as you're hugging your baby in. Good, we're going 2 more. You keep that hip directly over the bottom hip, 1 more. And then release it back down. Great work. Okay, so we're going to come back onto our hands and our knees and repeat those exercises for 1 more set. Now what we're doing, is tucking the toes under for the first exercise, or you can have them flat, but I prefer to tuck the toes, it gives us a little bit more stability. Alright, so we're going to lift one hand with the opposite knee, exhale. Inhale and lower. And again, exhale. Good. Just keep the foot really still as you lift. And aim just to lift about 1 inch or so, but also always having the shoulders over the wrists. Alright. We want to avoid rocking side to side too much, so really focus in the lower part of your abdominals, hugging your baby in as you exhale and lift the hand and the knee on the exertion phase of the exercise. 4 more. Good. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Let's progress. Alright, so both hands onto the floor, tuck the toes under. Exhale, lift the knees. We're going for 3, exhale. Exhale again, exhale and inhale and lower. Exhale, keep the back flat. Good, and really focus on the breath, hugging the baby as you lift the knees. And on this one, let's focus on that pelvic floor too. All right, lift up the four corners again of the pelvic floor. I know it might sound like a parrot. Constant reminders there are good. Helps you really focus and get that mind-body connection. Good. 2 more. One more. And rest. From here, let's untuck the toes so the feet are flat. And then just lift the hands up to the floor. Clasp the hands and bring the hands over above one shoulder. Exhale, bring the hands down towards your hips and turn through the waist and the hips. Inhale, come back up. And again, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So again, focus here on not really going through the motions of moving the arms. It's all about your waist and hips. Really think about hugging your baby in as you begin to turn through the waist. If you don't do that, if you just move with your waist and move your arms down, you won't get the benefit of really activating your transverse abdominis. So let's focus on that now. 4 more. 3. Feel that muscle guiding you. 2. 1 more. Good. And bring the arms back up. Let's go across to the other side. Exhale. Bring the hands down towards the hips. Inhale, bring them back up. Exhale. Good. 4 more. 4. 3. 2 more. 1 more. And bring the arms back up. Great. So from here, we're going to transition on to our bottom. Bring the feet around in front of us. We're going to rest onto our forearms. So we're not lying down to our back. It's a little bit more comfortable. And if you find that this just strains your neck a little, just try and tuck your chin slightly down. All right. From here, we're going to take 1 foot off the floor. Exhale, bring the knee towards the chest, towards your baby, and then inhale, place it back down. Change over, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Good. Try and just keep your shoulders squeezed back as well. Does that feel any better? Again, really focus on when you're breathing out, you're hugging your baby in, because we're focusing again on the deeper abdominal muscles here in this particular exercise. Good, 4 more. 3, 2 more. Good, 1 more. And rest. From here, we're going to take 1 foot off the floor and flex the foot. And then exhale, extend the leg out. Inhale, bring it towards the chest. And again, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 4 more. Breathing out, breathing in. So again, fully activating that TA muscle, transverse abdominis and pelvic floor. So breathe out, hug baby in, imagine your tiny corset, and lifting up 4 corners of the pelvic floor. Let's do 1 more. And rest the foot onto the floor. Change over, lift the foot up, and then exhale. Keeping the leg off the floor. Knee to chest. Exhale, hug baby. Inhale, relax. Now it's also important that you learn to relax, alright, particularly the pelvic floor muscle, so that it doesn't become hypertonic and overly tight, because when a muscle is very tight, it becomes weak. Alright, so as you inhale here, I want you to Allow the pelvic floor to kind of soften and expand outwards. So imagine that diamond shape, and it's just, the diamond shape is really just opening. All right, you're allowing the four corners just to relax and lower down and open out. 4 more. Good. 3, 2 more. Last one. And place the foot back onto the floor. Let's turn over onto your side and rest onto your forearm. All right, from here, one hip on top of the other, really hips need to be stacked. And then lift the side of the waist off the floor as you exhale. All right, inhale and lower. Now one tip here is to bring the shoulder in towards your body as you lift. Inhale, lower. And then exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So by bringing the shoulder in, you're placing less stress onto that shoulder. And then making sure that this hip stays directly upwards, pointing upwards. You want to avoid rotating back here. All right, 2 more. Breathing out as you lift, breathing in as you lower, working through the side of the waist. 1 more, and rest to the floor. Let's switch over to the other side. All right, knees are bent, feet flat onto the floor, one on top of the other, resting on your forearm. Take your hand onto your hip or have it just in front of you on the floor. Exhale, lift up. Inhale and lower. Bringing the shoulder in. Inhale, lower. Remember to keep one hip over the other hip, so your top hip is directly over the bottom hip. And with the breathing in, breathing out as you lift from that exertion phase of the exercise. 2 more. Good, 1 more. And lower. All right, great. So from here, we're going to come onto our knees and we're going to transition to a standing position. So Uma here, she likes to tuck onto your toes, take her knees wide and come into kind of a squat-like position. I'm going to show you an alternative. From your knees, you can step forward with 1 foot, place the hands onto your thigh, nearly wobble there. All right, keep my back toe tucked under. So I'm going to come up into kind of a lunge. Uma's going to come up to standing, gradually coming from that squat. So you can do either, all right, and then from here, just step forward with the foot, all right? So it's an easy way to transition off the floor so that you're not placing your body under any stress. We're going into a knee lift, and this is just a super exercise during pregnancy because we're standing, we're not placing a lot of pressure on the abdominal wall here, creating extra pressure. And we're really working that transverse abdominis functionally so that you can be using that muscle in everyday movements. So we're going to start by having our arms above our head, and we're going to lift one knee up, exhale, inhale, lower, and the other knee, exhale, inhale, lower. So you may be familiar with this movement prior to pregnancy, might be a common exercise that you were doing, or even as part of your warm-up. During this workout today, though, we need to really again focus on what we're doing with those abdominal muscles as you lift the knee. So it's almost like a little standing crunch. You're bringing your baby in as you lift your knee, all right, to support your spine and stabilize it as you're lifting 1 foot off the floor and you have a little less, all right, stabilization because you haven't got both feet on the floor. So you're just challenging your balance a little. And that is, in a way, a good thing to do because you're making that transverse abdominis work, all right, to stabilize you, support your spine. We'll do 4 more. 4, 3, 2 more, 1 more. And rest. From here, we're going to take our hands down and place the palms so that you're pushing your palms downward towards the floor. We're going to reach over, working the side of the waist, lifting this hand up slightly and kind of pushing through the air down towards the floor with this hand. And then take it across to the other side. And again, now you can choose to take some hand weights. If you want to make this exercise a little bit more challenging, have one hand weight in each hand. Focus here is you're getting a really lovely stretch through the side of your body, but at the same time, you're working the side of the waist, your obliques, along with your transverse abdominis, that muscle again. All right, so we're getting an exhale as you reach down, inhale as you come up, exhale as you reach across to the other side, inhale, come up. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Your knees just want to be ever so slightly soft, so really locking the knees in. And just think about your posture here, so ribs over your hips. 2 more. Good, 1 more. And rest. Same movement but with a plie, so we're going to take the feet out a little wider. If wide movements are uncomfortable for you or you experience any pain, then you need to take your feet closer together for this exercise. All right, otherwise the feet are out wide is okay. Toes turned out. Keep the knees turned out as we plie down. Take your hands now to the side of your head so your elbows are out. We're going to do 1 plie, coming down, and then we're going to lean over to one side, lean over to the other, come back up to the center and plie back up. Plie down, over to one side, the other, back center and up. Breathe in here, breathe out. And try and focus on just breathing in to lower, breathe out to one side, and again out to the other side, and then try and breathe out again as you come up. So don't worry too much about the breathing, but the focus is on breathing in as you lower, all right, and then kind of taking a long breath out here as you go to each side and come back up. Breathe in. And you can catch a little small breath in at the center here, and then breathe out. If you find that's easier, then you haven't got that long exhalation. Just remembering to focus the exhale on the lifting back up, and as you're going over to one side and then the other. Do 1 more. And coming back up. Excellent. So from here, we're going to come to a wall. All right, we're going to use our wall here. Or if you kind of have a kitchen top, you can also come to a kitchen top as well, a high bench. We're coming against the wall. We're going to place our hands up against the wall and walk the feet back so that your feet are, say, about 1 meter away from the wall. You're in a diagonal line here. And just press into your wall. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Now we're going to bend the knees. We're going to inhale, lower and sit kind of back. And then as you exhale, you just soften your tailbone down. All right, hug your baby in and come back up with straight legs. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can move your hand position. If you feel it's more comfortable to take your hands a little lower down, you can do that. The whole idea here though is you're sitting back at the hips, bending the knees. You're not just pushing the knees forward. And let's focus really on breathing in here. Inhale. Exhale. All right, lifting back up. As you exhale, 4 corners of the pelvic floor, hug the baby in. Or imagine that you're drawing a corset. One of those pieces of clothing around the center part of your body, around your midsection. Tying the laces on a corset. All right, 2 more. 1 more. Excellent. Then we're going to move the hands up a little if you drop the hands down. All right, we're going to lift up onto our toes, lifting the heels. Exhale, and then inhale and lower. And again, exhale. Good. And again, exhale. Inhale. Now this is a lovely one just to activate some and get some ability through your ankles. So if you're finding that your lower leg is swelling and that the area around your ankles is swelling, I was just common during pregnancy, this will help just mobilize and get everything circulating around that area again. Same time, we're working on transverse. It might feel a little light and easy, but this is just a great exercise to be doing. All right, being very mindful of that mind-body connection. One more. Good, and hold it down. All right, with the feet flat onto the ground, we're going to take one hand and slide it up, exhale. Inhale, bring it back to the center with space between the hands. Exhale, slide the other one out slightly to a diagonal. Inhale, back. Let's take it out to the side, directly to the side. Exhale with the hand. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. Now, we're going to take it down slightly on the diagonal. Exhale down. Inhale. Activate that TDA, your pelvic floor as you're moving the hand. Let's go back up. And down, other hand, back up, slide it on that diagonal. Back down, across to the side. Activate. All right, deep muscles as you're moving the hand. All right, so not just moving the hand and wondering what on earth we're doing here. All right, we're really hugging that baby in to support us. All right. Now let's take the hand actually off the wall, slide it over. Good. All right, so you have a little less stability now. Good. Making that muscle work a little harder. Across to the side. And down. Let's do a couple more. Reaching up. Crossing that diagonal. Good. And out to the side. And down. Good. And release it there. Alright. From here, we've got one more exercise. We're going to take the hand off the wall, open out and turn the waist. Take it behind us, not too far, and then place it back onto the wall. Let's go across to the other side, turning through the waist and back down. Exhale, turn, back down. There's no need to turn too far. In fact, we want to avoid doing that. Just want to take the hand off and feel that slight, almost 45-degree rotation through the waist and through the hips. And you are exhaling as you rotate and turn. We'll do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Good, and place the hands back onto the floor. All right, let's place the hands off the wall, walk away. Are you ready for one more set of those standing exercises? All good. All right, let's take our arms up above our head. All right, lift your knee, bring your hands down towards the knee. Exhale. And again, other side, exhale. And up. So remember, you might have noticed that you need to go a little slower. All right, while you're exercising during pregnancy, that is totally cool. Remember, you're not competing with anybody else, and you're not competing with yourself. All right, you're just staying fit and healthy and strong during pregnancy and doing what's right for your body. All right, which is movement and exercise, right? You don't want to be sat on the couch. All right, the entire time for the pregnancy. You do want to train for one of the biggest lifetime events that you're going to be enduring, all right? So fit and healthy body is important. All right, 4 more. 4, 3, 2 more, 1 more, and rest. All right, side to side bend, so hands down by your hips, reaching over to the right, coming back to the center, exhale, reach over to the left. So remember, with this exercise and with a couple of the other ones as well, you can choose to take a hand weight, right, make it more challenging. Now let's focus on that breath. Exhale as you reach down, push through the air, taking the hand down towards the floor. Think about your posture here, so we're standing tall, ribs over hips. 4 more. 2 more. 1 more. Great. Let's take the hands to the side of the head, turn the toes out, and take the feet in the widest stance position. We're going to plie down, sitting back at the hips, keeping the knees turned out. Reach over to one side, elbow towards the knee, other side, and then quick inhale and then exhale to come up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, quick inhale. Exhale, quick inhale. And exhale, come up. So the same thing happens when you're plié, doing the side bend. As you come out of that plié, all right, support your spine by activating and switching on that TA muscle here. All right, inhale. So although this feels like a leg exercise and a glute exercise, which it also is, all right, by deploying the breath that we're doing, all right, it's one that I use in my Prepare Pregnancy program. It's the 360-degree breath and learning to activate the core, and that is the two muscles, the transverse abdominis, all right, what we're doing here with the method that I teach, and the pelvic floor. Activating those two muscles of the core, the other muscles of the core, along with the breath. It's so important because you should be breathing with your diaphragm, all right, and that should be working together with those two muscles. Let's do one more, taking your mind off it here by talking you through the breathing. Exhale, coming back up. Excellent. All right, let's come to the wall. You have, or your high bench or your kitchen worktop. Place your hands onto the wall. Step your feet back, so you've got about a meter space here. All right, and then we're going to inhale, sit down, bend the knees. Exhale, hug the baby in, come up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So again, this might feel really lightweight to you, this kind of exercise. But you know, I see so many women like really trying to sometimes go for it during exercises, but they're not quite connecting to that deep muscle. And it's so important that you, when you're exercising, you are connecting to this deep muscle, because that is the one, all right, that is going to help you deliver your baby, all right, and also the one that helps you have a flatter tummy when it's strong and recover faster after your baby. So it's one that we focus on strengthening first after having a baby. Good, so sit down, relax your tailbone. Exhale, come back up, one more. Inhale, exhale. Good, let's hold it here and lift the heels up, and then place the heels back onto the floor. And again, exhale, inhale. So exhale as you lift the heels, inhale as you lower. Great for ankle mobility. Also help strengthen your calves and stretch your calves too. Two more. One more. Good. All right, let's take this hand off the wall, slide it up. Exhale, inhale, place it back down. Other hand up. Exhale, back down, across to the side. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale down. Inhale, exhale down, inhale. Let's do that sequence again. So I favour a wall plank during pregnancy because people still like to plank, right? They like a plank. Alright, but when we're on the floor planking during pregnancy, sometimes that coning, that doning can occur. Alright, we want to avoid that because it means that we're straining and adding extra pressure or too much pressure on that abdominal wall. You do want some pressure, but not lots and lots of extra pressure during pregnancy, because that can just cause that paired muscle to separate further than it kind of needs to. Alright, and it also stretches out the leaner alba, that connective tissue, and that's actually more important. The integrity and being able to keep tension at that connective tissue is what then brings the muscles back together. Alright, so if we're stretching that connective tissue too much, it loses its ability to bring that paired muscle, your six pack, back together at the midline. Right, so in this position, there's less pressure here. And now, good, okay, let's do one more, reaching up. Other side, out to the side, exhale, exhale and down. And then release. From here, we're going to take the hand off the wall, turn. All right, take the body out and place the hand back onto the wall. Exhale as you turn, inhale as you place the hand back. Yes, so really great movement here through the side of the waist. It feels so good. Remember, we're not rotating too far. Taking your time, thinking about that mind, knowing what it's doing and what muscle you're focusing on. When you have that mind in that space of knowing what muscle you're focusing on, the body moves better. Has more ability to switch that muscle on. Okay, let's do 2 more. 1 more. And place hands back onto the wall. Walk towards the wall and let's go into a stretch. All right. So what I want you to do is just kind of sit back at the hips, keep the knees slightly soft. All right, we're going to lean forward, but it's all safe and comfortable for your bump. We're just going to slide the hands down. All right, just lengthen the back, pushing your tailbone away and up. And then lifting the head for that stretch down through the backs of the legs. And then inhale, come up, or exhale, come up. And then inhale, lower, sliding the hands down the legs, pushing your tailbone away and up, shoulders away from ears. And then exhale, come up. We'll do that 1 more time. This time I'll hold it for a little longer, shoulders away from ears. Just breathe in and breathe out, feeling that stretch. Okay, straightening the legs out a little if you can. Placing the hands onto the thighs. And then gradually exhale, lifting the body up. From here we're going to come down to the floor. So let's do this safely. We're going to step back with 1 foot. Alright, we're going to just gradually lower down, inhale, taking the knee down towards the floor. And then place this foot back, coming onto both knees. Take the knees wide to accommodate the bump, and then just walk the hands onto the floor. Spread your fingers, keep your big toes together, sit your bottom back into the heels, and then lifting the head, shoulders away from your ears. Gradually lower your forehead down towards the floor. If you can't quite get to that position, just rest onto your forearms or extend your arms if you're here. All right, just choose what's comfortable for you in terms of your range of movement. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Now again, I want you to feel that 360-degree breathing that we practiced right at the beginning of this video. So breathing in, feel your ribs expand laterally. So kind of think, east and west, all right? And then breathing out, going into the sides of your rib cage, around the back. So breathing in, so we want to go front, all right, sides and back. Mustn't ignore the front as well. So full 360-degree breathing, full circle around your body. Now at the same time, we're stretching the spine, decompressing at the spinal cords. We may have tensed up a little, got tight. Such a lovely stretch to do during pregnancy, this child's pose. Okay, let's take another deep breath in and exhale. And release. So just gradually lift your forehead off the floor. Take your time, walk your hands back. And I'd love to know which was your favorite exercise from this workout today, so be sure to comment below this video. Would you like to improve or keep your body tone, plus feel super confident throughout your pregnancy? But are you unsure which exercises would be best for your pregnant body or your baby? Would you like some guidance, support, and a week-by-week structure so you know which exercises to do and when? Plus, would you like to have more energy and support your baby's healthy development by knowing which foods would be right to eat, even if you're suffering from some nausea or cravings? Then I'd love to help you. Click the link below this video to book a call with either myself or one of my team to see if my program would be the right fit for you. And if you like this video, give it the thumbs up and be sure to share it with all your mummy to be friends if you feel it would help them. And remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified of my new pregnancy and postnatal weekly video releases. Wishing you, as always, a fit and healthy pregnancy, and I'll see you on our next video.